What's going on, guys? This is Trice here with SportStop.com, and today I'm going to show you on how you can tell whether or not your head is going to be legal for the 2018 season. As we know, they made a few changes to the head specifications, or the cross specifications, as US Lacrosse puts it. This is technically a cross, so that's by all means correct. We just know them as heads because that's what we sell them as. But either way, let's go ahead and show you guys how you can check if you're going to be legal. I'm going to throw a big graphic up on the screen, which is actually directly from US Lacrosse, so you guys can take a look at that. I'll show you that real quick, and then I'll show you how to check the head. So go ahead and take a look at that. And as you're looking at that, go ahead and look. You'll notice that it's got a few measurements on it. It's got 1.25 inches up from the throat, 3 inches up from the throat, and 5 inches up from the throat. The throat is the base of the head. That they don't consider where the head attaching to the shaft as a part of where you're measuring from. It is actually from the base of the throat, or where your ball stop attaches. But those are the heights that you're concerning yourself with. And at 1.25 inches, it needs to be 3 inches, front and back, cut and dry, black and white, 3 inches. Same song for the 3 inches up. That is, again, 3 inches up and 3 inches across in the head right there. 5 inches up, which is about halfway up the head. You've got 3.5 to 4 inches at the front of the head and 3.5 inches minimum at the back. And then again, across at the widest point of the head, you've got a minimum of 6 inches. Okay, the minimum word, that is important. If it's a little more than 6 inches, you know, maybe like 6.25 or something like that, not a big deal. It can't be any less than 6 inches, a minimum of 6 inches, okay? Same thing with the 3.5 to 4, 3.5 to 4 on the front part of the 5-inch rule, or the 3.5 on the back side of the 5-inch rule. Those are minimum measurements, keep that in mind. So, I've got a head here, and another really easy way to think about this too, so NFHS marketed heads, high school heads, are done. So all you gotta concern yourself with is your head NCAA legal? Because these measurements are the same as, if we like time travel back to like 2010, the NCAA rules for head measurements, that is what we're dealing with here. So conveniently, I've got one of these fancy things. We'll open this dude up. This is actually an officiating head check measuring stick, okay? So this first prong here is 1.25 inches from the base of the throat. This second prong here, that is 3 inches. And this one here is 5 inches. And then this little tiny window up here, right? That's the 10 inches. So if your head fits in this head, if your head fits in this, right? You are, what I like to say, golden. If you don't have this, not a big deal. All you need is a ruler, okay? Starting where your ball stop applies, that is where you're measuring from. So you're gonna go 1.25 inches up from there and measure across. Should be 3 inches. Then you're gonna go 3 inches up from there, from again, where your ball stop applies, measure across, and it needs to be 3 inches. When you make it to 5 inches up, typically where your head starts to flare, right at the halfway point of the head, that can be 3.5 to 4 inches on the front and a minimum of 3.5 on the back. That does allow for a little bit of flare coming out, which is pretty common with heads nowadays. But that's your next measurement. 5 inches up, the front of the head needs to be 3.5 to 4 inches, and this needs to be 3.5 at its minimum. And then at its widest point here, you're looking for 6 inches minimum. Now, of course, we all know that a head from the base of the throat to the top of the scoop is 10 inches, and that's what that little tiny window up at the top is for. But they're not as concerned with that as they are your internal measurements here, okay? So 6 inches here, 5 inches up, you've got 3.5 minimum to 4 inches in the front, and 3.5 in the back. That's the only measurement where you have to concern yourself with the front and the back being different sizes. When you get to that 3-inch measurement, you've got 3 inches front and back. And again, 1.25 inches, 3 inches front and back. If you pick up one of these, it makes it really easy. If not, you know how to use a ruler. Again, it's really simple. And that's just gonna make sure that you guys are ready to rock and roll come the 2018 season, because that is when these rules go public, go official, go live, however you want to talk about it. That's when they go into effect. 2018 season, no more high school heads. It is all like a U-spec situation. Just again, you can simplify and just look at NCAA head regulations, and that's what you're looking at right there. So this head, it's going to be fine, no problem. And a lot of the newer heads that are coming out have already taken this into account, so you don't have to concern yourself. If you're getting a head that is a U-spec head, you're fine. If you're getting a head that is an NCAA spec head, you're going to be typically fine. But if it's an older model or something like that, just throw a ruler on it. It's not that hard to check, and just make sure that you're ready to rock and roll. Yeah, 2018 season head specifications. That's pretty much how you knock it out. Yeah, it's really not that difficult. But guys, if you like the video, let me know. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe tab, and watch the recommended video that's floating up beside me. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and have a great day.